Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 100 of the Fitness
Woo.
Business Growth Podcast. How are you, mate?
Very well. Happy three figures.
I'm sure you've heard that stat, mate, that 90 something percent of people don't get past episode 2. And then the remaining 1% that get past episode 2, 99% of those don't get past episode 20. And here we are, 100.
Yeah, we're in the top
So
1%.
elite podcasters where no one watches, except my mum watches still.
Very few views.
Very few views. No, it's doing all right.
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay, so today's podcast is something that I'm extremely passionate about, and I start a lot of podcasts like this, but I mean it. This might be my number one thing that I will like. Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't more gym owners doing this? Like, why aren't you doing this magical thing? So we raised $66,000 hosting annual charity trivia nights over our 9-year period of owning gyms. Out of all the things I look back on, the pre-sales, the openings, the members, the friends, the relationships, there was weddings, there was marriages, this is probably the thing that I'm most proud of and most fond of.
It's a bloody lot of money.
It was
66,000, and I can't remember the breakdown of each one, but there was some. It was like we did it 9 times, did we? Probably more.
Oh, I can't even remember.
It was probably like $5 to $8 grand per one. Like, it's actually a substantial amount of money for someone who actually really needed it.
Yeah,
We had
and
people
local families in need. We weren't doing it.
Yeah, we
I
won't
got
do
nothing against major charities, of course, but we'll give
No.
it to like, hey, Alison,
someone
here's money.
who was sick or their partner was sick, and just like cancer or something horrible. Other times people had horrible things happen, where someone's house burnt down one time. So just was it was something where we did, and then all of our members in the local community really got behind it, and yeah, pretty proud of us to be able to be facilitating that, and still to this day we love talking about it.
And this far, we've had one client do it, Palmer. She's done 3 now. Each one, she's raised over $5,000, hosted out of her gym. Unbelievable effort, Palmer. Well done.
Good on you, Palmer. Amazing.
One, isn't that many though, is it? Come on, guys.
Hopefully after this, a few more.
So, okay. So how do you host an annual charity trivia night? So I have got my little bullets here of exactly how we did it, so we don't miss anything and we are all on the same path. So part 1 is you want to pick a local family or local charity to support. So quite often the families we chose were members or friends of members, and we did one local charity, the charity I'm most passionate about, which is Dog Rescue Newcastle. I got Lily and Sparkles from them, and you rescue dogs from RSPCA. So we both love dog rescue. So pick a local family or charity to support. I think that is so fucking important because people want to get behind the little guy as opposed to, it sounds terrible, but the Cancer Council or these big organizations where you don't know where the money's going.
It's not just people getting behind it. I think it's more rewarding for you too, because you actually, at the end of it, you transfer the money directly to their bank account, and then they're able to use that for treatment or for help, as opposed to Cancer Council. And I'm sure it goes to the right place and the right people, but it's much more rewarding to do it to a family or someone who really needs it.
The other thing too is like people get behind people they know. And if they're, and it's happened to us where a member's daughter had to go through IVF treatment and kept going through it and kept going through it and kept failing. And then one of the last functions we did was to raise money for this daughter, and she's pregnant. And for us to see that, it's just really fucking cool.
Yeah, amazing.
Okay.
Completely agree.
So you want to book a venue about 12 weeks in advance. Following on from episode 99, an 8-week challenge, what an opportunity to put trivia night smack bang in the middle of fucking winter and talk about it for 12 weeks leading up to it.
Yeah. You got people agreeing to it, paying for it, they're coming along. And if they're members, they're probably going to hang around in your gym for that period.
And if they cancel on the member, they're now cancelling on charity.
We never planned it that way, but we kind of ended up seeing it kind of work that way.
There's nothing wrong with win-wins.
No.
And yes, we started our locations to make money. The charities, yes, we raised money for charity, but of course it worked well for us too. Of course we got members out of it. Of course members stayed longer. We got in 2 local newspapers. Look it up, Cessnock Advertiser and the Maitland Mercury. Never forget it. So like, I used to think like, oh, do people think we're just doing this just to get members? And the answer was no, but it was a huge part of it.
Well, we're not Mother Teresa.
No,
we're not this just doing it completely for other people's benefit. And it's a huge part of it. We still did all the groundwork. We still hosted the night. We still paid for the venue. Did all of that stuff, and then obviously we had things in place where we were trying to hopefully get some people in the back end of it. But if we didn't, didn't matter.
Yeah.
But we knew that all the goodwill that we're creating certainly wasn't going to hurt.
So book a venue 12 weeks ahead and tell every member you want to do it. Now, book a community hall or function room. So we used community halls, we used function halls, we used ones at Merriweather Leith Club. We got this beautiful room. It looked like a wedding function room. It would be a wedding function room. Got it for free. It was unreal. So if you are raising money for a good cause, the Leith clubs, the functions will get behind you. Why? Because they want to look good too.
Yeah, and they know that people are going to buy drinks and whatever else. So
okay. Now, we are doing 20 tables of 10 people each. So 20 tables, 10 people, 200 people. Now, this is one of the most critical pieces of organizing the whole night. Select a table captain. So I'm sure in your sessions, 5:15, 6:45, 9:30, 4:15, 5 p.m., 5:45, burned into my brain forever, there are probably one or two loud voices in each classroom that dominate the conversation. They are your team captains. Choose 2 people from each time slot to be your team captain. They are responsible for rounding up the other 9 people of their table. It will be a combination of members, their friends. If you raise money for a family external, they'll come also. Their partners, so they are responsible for organizing the table. But more importantly, they are responsible for giving you the money and collecting you the money. So quite often, it was really kind. The table captain would pay us the entry fee for the 10 people, and then they'd be chasing up the money, not us. Do not allow people to pay on the night of or the night before. Get money 12 weeks out as fast as possible. Commit people to the event. Have a table captain, so you're not bothering them, they're bothering them. We all have those members.
Well, as soon as if you're starting to chase up money, it becomes this whole distraction of you running your business. So that's where you just have the conversation with people and say, hey, we need someone to take charge on this. You'd be a great person to do this. And quite often they're happy to do it. They're that type of person.
They feel important.
And they feel important. They
know
they
are important.
And you've gone to them and asked, and then you say, hey, would love, this is the amount of money. If you're happy to front that, some people do that. If not, totally cool. But if you could round it up and send us through all of it when you get all of it, because otherwise you've got $25 payments or $50 payments.
And we'd have a big whiteboard. We'd have table 1, 2, 3, 4, 20 and have their names on it. It was fucking great. And not only did we feel great about it, they felt great too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the tracking's easy.
Now, this is the important part. This is how you actually raise money for the night. To charge $50 per person per head. So one table of 10 people is $500 for the table. Now, around $10 of that $50 will go to organizing food on the night. So if you have 200 people and you get $10 per person, you've got $2,000 going to the Leith Club to organize the classic RSL meatballs, party pie, sausage rolls. At Merriweather, it was actually quite fancy. We had like lamb kebabs. It was cool. So about $10 per head.
And we always had leftovers, by the way.
Always had leftovers. So $10 per person will go to the venue. If you host a community hall, we used to get catering. We had a member her brother owned a butcher at Lambton.
Yep.
And he'd provide the meat and we'd cook. And again, members would get behind it. They'd clean up. Everyone was fucking pitching in to raise money for a good cause. I just get so excited. It's like, I miss it.
We did a lot of them.
It was so cool. Okay. So 200 people times 50, $10,000. $2,000 goes to the venue or food. That means you've raised $8,000 just like that. Now, how do you raise more money? We do it by having 3 games. Game number 1 was, I learned this at my AFL team, Terry Lavoca Panthers. Put a bottle of Jim Beam, bottle of scotch down the end of a room. People throw $1 or $2 coins at it. The closest coin that is still in front of the bottle wins. And we'd have hundreds of people lining up, going again and again and again, throwing coins.
They would win the bottle.
They'd win the bottle. And I'll be at the front with the microphone, interviewing each person before their throw and trying my best attempt to make the room laugh. So that was game number 1.
And they get a couple of $100.
Couple of $100, easy.
Easy. And the bottle's 40.
Because someone's already pretty loaded and they throw down a $100 note.
Yeah.
And say, oops.
Yeah.
Right? So it's really cool. The whole spirit of the night is just to raise money. Game number 2 was the classic Who Am I? I think this was from, what was that show on Saturday night? It was like 7:30.
Red Faces.
Red Faces. What was that show?
That was
what's that show called?
Saturday
Night Live?
No, that's the American one.
Anyway, it was a great show. But it was a Who Am I? So I jump on stage, or Mitch would be on stage, and it would be, I was born in Cleveland, Ohio, and I play basketball in the National NBA, in the National Basketball Association. People raise their hand and they'd yell out LeBron James.
And
right?
you'd keep having questions if
Keep
people
having
didn't know. I was born here. My mum's name's this. I went to
Gloria.
school here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm better than Michael Jordan.
Yeah, definitely.
But how people would enter that game is it was per table would chuck in $20 to play, and then the winner of that game would win all that money back, or they could go to the bar. And of course, at the end, do you want to spend the money or give it to the charity? And they'd give it to the charity.
Yeah.
It's a great night.
Very nice.
You
Good memories.
should be doing it. And the third game was my favorite game of all time. It was our dirty joke round. So again, it was pay $20 to come up on stage. We didn't tell them what it was going to be. We didn't tell them it was going to be a joke. We'd say, send your funniest person up on stage. Each table would send their funny person. There'd be a line of 20 people. We'd tell them what they're going to do. Public speaking is like the number one fear in the world.
Everyone's pretty drunk by this point.
Everyone's pretty drunk. Everyone's pretty nervous. I'm sure their members on their table were texting them dirty jokes. And we'd have 20 of the most appalling jokes to be ever read in public.
No judgment.
No judgment at all. The last one who won the joke round was actually my father-in-law.
That's right.
Great joke.
Tony.
And Tony's a very mild-mannered, soft-spoken man, and the words that came out of his mouth.
Yeah.
It was
I
fun,
actually
though.
remember the joke. I remember it being hilarious. Probably don't need to beat it.
But it was great because you have these. And the other thing too is I love these nights. You like obviously the charity's great, but members fucking bond. You think 10 people on a table together playing trivia, raising money for charity, sending someone up, helping them, getting them through that moment, cheering on their joke, even if it was shit. Of course, that's going to bond people.
And if nothing else, it's just an organised night out that people can plan well and ahead and plan babysitters or partner looks after them or whatever it is. So it's just something to look forward to.
You have a soft-spoken member get on stage and just absolutely go for it.
Yeah, they were really great fun. We probably were at the top of people who enjoyed them the most.
Yeah, I was the drunkest.
Yeah, had a great time. Help raise a lot of money.
Yeah. So one thing that we did too is me and you actually wrote the questions. So
I did them each year.
Mitch wrote the questions each year, and we weren't asking how many kilometers is Pluto from the sun. It wasn't Sale of the Century. It wasn't Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. It was
multiple choice.
It was name the 6 characters in Friends.
It'd be so much. You just chat GPT it now.
Yeah.
It was before chat. It'd be so easy. So I don't know if you get into it here, but there was 8 rounds.
Yep.
And there was 8 questions around, and each round had a different topic. So one would be sport, one would be music, one would be movies, one would be geography.
One was Newcastle.
One was like your local area. And then you could obviously just use ChatGPT now. But yeah, you want them to be gettable, at least 6 of them.
And then one was a trainer's round. They were all multiple choice questions. It was like who got thrown in prison in 2011.
Jayme.
That was me. Spoiler. It was who tried out for Big Brother and made it to the final round. That was Steve.
Yeah. So you have some fun.
It was who has singing videos of themselves on their face. It was just heaps of fun.
And we would have those games strategically placed after each 2 rounds. So we go 2 rounds, game, 2 rounds, game, 2 rounds, game, and then the 7 and 8, and then the winner. So it's
so fucking cool.
It was normally about 3-4 hours. Is that right?
Oh, like 6 to 11. It was long. It was long in the tooth.
We'd string it out, and then we'd normally head out after. But yeah, you'd probably allow probably an hour for 2 rounds, and then the game and everything. 4 hours, I reckon.
And then we tally up the scores of who won trivia, and the winner of trivia won $400. And of course, the same thing. Actually, one table kept the money once.
Did they? Oh yeah.
So I'm like, are you sure about that? You want to keep it? But 8 out of 9 times the table gave the money back to charity.
Back.
Yeah. And just think about like the satisfaction you'd get from hosting that night. Think about the member satisfaction. Take tons of photos. We had these ginormous checks made up. We'd hang them in the gym. People would see them when they walk in. What's this? What's this? We got newspapers. Like it was truly something special. And people always tell me about the community. I'm like, fucking prove it. What has your community done?
Yeah, and I don't doubt that these gyms and studios have a good community. But it some people think they got a good community because they'll fist bump each other at the end of the class, and that's
or
good
the same 10 members go out for coffee on Saturday.
Yeah, so this is really just like an all-inclusive way that you can leverage your network and leverage your community to make a really, really profound change in a way that is going to help someone or a family in need, but also be self-serving in a little bit that it creates a lot of goodwill And I don't know I don't think we got many members out of it, to be honest, but
I didn't care.
it created a lot of goodwill. Members loved it. It was something that got talked about a lot leading up to it. Members stuck around throughout the gym, and maybe there are people that was their thing. Like, hey, I'm not too sure if I want to keep going there, but they do this community thing every year, and I think it's great what they do. So I'm gonna hang around.
We've got to remember what Uncle Ben said to Spider-Man as he was passing away. With great power comes great responsibility. You have the power of this ginormous community. You know more people than most people. Like, how many phone numbers do you know? How many personal relationships do you have? Sometimes it's over 200, 300 people. Get them together and do something great.
And they'll love it.
They'll
have a great time.
Yeah. Anything else on hosted trivia nights, mate?
I think it's something that is multifaceted in terms of the benefit from it. You're going to have a good time. They're going to have a good time. You're going to raise money for someone who really needs it. You're going to get some goodwill out of it, and it's something to really look forward to each year. So
Yeah.
it was literally the first thing we decided each year. When are we going to have it? Where are we going to do it? And then pretty proud to say we did it every year.
I learned so much from my footy club.
Footy clubs and sports clubs do a lot of that stuff well.
Yeah. So at the footy club, we'd have a ping pong night. We'd have, which we changed to a beer pong night. We would have a trivia night, and we'd have a presentation. And we tried to follow like a similar flow.
Yeah.
And the presentation was a Christmas party.
That's it.
That's simple. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you appreciate it. Episode 100. I'm hoping we're here in 2 years' time for episode 200. I'm sure we will be.
And go and do that. Do the trivia night.
Trivia night like Palmer.
Do it.
Palmer raised $5,700. She hosted it in her gym. Set up tables. And the thing is, you'll be surprised at how helpful people are when you say it's for charity.
Oh.
People will give you tables. People will give you, we got free Knights jerseys, signed Knights jerseys, heaps of shit.
Tell us about it. We'd like to hear about it.
Thanks, guys. Have a lovely day.